Good morning and welcome to another edition of our journey to financial freedom. I am Sheila Wilkinson-Sanders and I am super excited that so many of you are benefiting from our videos. People ask me all the time, Sheila, why do you do this? But I love helping people. I believe that God has blessed me beyond measure, and I believe that it's really important that I give back to our community, and I believe it's important that we all do that because we can't make it in this world by ourselves. We have to bring each other up with us, and that's how we get to financial freedom. So in our last video, we were talking about early retirement, and many of you have contacted me, many of you have talked to your financial professionals to verify what I have said, which is a great thing. I want you to do that. But also many of you said to me, you know what, Sheila, great video, but it doesn't relate to me at all. You know, I just started working. I've only been working 5, 7, 10 years. And I have a long way to go before I get to retirement. But that information that I shared is still information that I want you to put into place when you're putting together your financial plan for the future. But I want to talk today about something that all of you can benefit from, and we're staying on the topic of retirement funds, but I want to share with you something that my biological father put on my spirit long ago, God rest his soul. And then ironically, my stepfather put similar thoughts on my heart and spirit many years ago before his passing. And the thoughts were, you should pay attention, watch, monitor, take note of those who have characteristics that you wish to have. And then the second point that they put on my spirit that came to mind recently was keep your enemies very close. And these thoughts came to mind recently during this political season that we're in. And let me just take a quick commercial break and encourage all of you that have not already done so to please vote before or on November 8th. It's a very important election. All of the elections are important, but this one is critical to the future of our country, of our community, of your family, and for you. So it's just really important that you take the time to go out and vote. All right, commercial break over. I think it was the second debate, and Hillary Clinton brought up a point to the dreaded Donald Trump in reference to the fact that he had not released his tax returns. And she suggested that the reason that he possibly had not released his tax returns is because he didn't want the public to know, number one, how much money he made, and number two, despite the fact that he made millions of dollars, that he paid no taxes. And Mr. Trump's response was, that makes me smart. Many people were very upset by that, disgusted by that, but the fact of the matter is, on that one point, he was right. He, along with many wealth-minded people, legally make millions of dollars each year and don't pay taxes. So I want to put this on your spirit to start to monitor, watch, learn, grow, gain knowledge from those wealth-minded people that understand about financial freedom, that understand about how to make money and keep money in their pockets. Now, I have on several occasions during this financial freedom journey. And on many occasions during our previous journey toward debt reduction, talked to you about having a budget. And I have talked to you about a principle that was shared with me many years ago by a friend of mine who I admire greatly, has been my mentor, and that's Lynn Richardson. And it's the principle of the 10-10-50-30. If you haven't heard that, please go back through YouTube or Facebook videos and find the videos on budgeting. But in summary, the first 10% goes to God or to giving back. The next 10% is for savings. That's money going to you. The next 50% is for reducing your debt, paying your bills, getting rid of paying your debt. And the last 30% is what you live off of, your spending money. So I want to talk about that 10% savings. And I've talked to you on several occasions about an option that I like a lot, and that's the 401k. And the reason I like the 401k is because with the 401k, you contribute to a plan, and your employer, in many cases, not in every case, but in many cases, your employer will match a portion of the money that you contribute. And so when I say to you that I want you to maximize your 401k, I had many of you ask me that. Well, Sheila, the maximum is like $18,000. Is that what you mean? And I said, no, that's not what I mean. What I mean is I want you to maximize the amount up to the maximum that your employer will match your contributions. So if you are with a company that does a one-for-one match on the first $5,000 that you contribute, then you should be contributing $5,000 a year. Now, the reason I say that is because it's free money. Where else can you get an investment where you get 100% profit each year? Or 50% profit in the case where your employer matches 50% of what you put in. Or 25% profit if it's a situation where your employer matches 25% of what you put in. So that's why I say to maximize your 401k. Now, here's where the difference is between the middle class minded person and the wealth minded person. And you people are probably saying, why is she saying wealth minded as opposed to wealthy person? Well, because it's all about a mindset. It's all about the way you think, about the way you act, the way you treat money. It's not, or the way you treat your life. It's not just about money. That's the other thing. And I've talked about that in previous videos, so you can go back and look for wealth-minded. Search on that on YouTube, and you'll find it. The wealth-minded person is going to live their life on a daily basis financially free. You could have all the money in the world and not be wealth-minded. Case in point, those that win the lottery. In many, 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 many documented cases, the poor-minded person has won the lottery, won millions of dollars, and in a couple of years they're broke. And they're all saying, well, how could that be? How could this person or this couple or this family be broke and they won millions of dollars? Because they never changed their mindset. They still think like poor-minded people, so they act like poor-minded people. So I want you to start to change your mindset from whatever mindset you're in now to that of a wealth-minded person. And in the case of a 401k, in the case of retirement plan, when they set up the 401k, the premise was that it would encourage Americans to save money. But they wanted to make sure that you still were putting money into the economy. So the way it was set up was you can put the money into the 401k pre-tax, which means your taxes will be lower now. And then when the money comes out later on, when you're at a lower tax bracket, you could pull the money out and pay the taxes then. And that seemed like a really great concept, right? And so let me give you an illustration verbally. I'm not going to put it on paper, but you can put it on paper. Let's say you have $50,000 in your 401k right now, and you're at a 28% tax bracket. And let's say you're 30 years old. And so by the time you get to be age 65, that $50,000 has grown to $500,000. And now you're at a 15% tax bracket, potentially. Where do you think you're going to pay more taxes? 28% of $50,000 or 15% of $500,000? Now, the assumption is that the tax brackets will still be the same then. We'll still have the same tax system. But let's assume that. Where are you going to pay more taxes? You're going to pay more taxes on that $500,000. Okay? So one of the things that you have to get past as a wealth-minded person is thinking for today only. You have to think toward the future while taking care of yourself today. So what you want to do is pay the taxes strategically now, and then have the income once you retire that you get month after month, year after year, tax free. No debt burden on you. Living financially free. So how do you do that? You do that with a Roth IRA, with a Roth 401k. And the difference is that you pay the taxes up front so that in the future, when you get to retirement or early retirement, there's no tax burden on you. Now, there are limits on the amount that you can put in per year. It's $5,500, in some cases $6,500. There are restrictions on how long it has to be in that Roth before you can start withdrawing it, which is 5 years. There are restrictions on when you can start taking the money out, but it's actually earlier. It's 59 and a half. So you can start right now. Some of you are saying, oh God, I've missed all these years. Not necessarily. So you have, it's November, you still have the rest of 2016 up until you pay your taxes in 2017, where you can make your contributions for 2016. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you can systematically, strategically roll over not only your 401k, but all of your retirement funds into a Roth IRA. Here's where it's very, very important that you have very wise, wealth-minded financial professionals helping you, because you want to minimize the amount of taxes that you pay up front pre-tax, so that you don't have that burden of extraordinary taxes now. So you may even do a combination of regular 401k and Roth 401k for this year. You want to work with your tax professional, and that's part of why they allow you to do your retirement contributions after year end. Because if you have a really good tax professional, they're going to sort of look at your taxes, look at how much you owe or how much you're going to receive back, and figure out ways to maximize your money that you keep or get back. I hope all of this makes great sense to you, is very logical to you. I know it's a little complicated. I'm getting a little bit more involved in our financial planning process, but these are really, really important principles that all of you can use to become financially free. Remember to stay faithful, Remember to stay focused. Remember to stay committed. And please, please, please remember to vote. I'm Sheila Wilkinson-Sanders, and I hope you have a wonderfully fabulous day.